Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, I think it is doing it now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, everybody is still able to hear properly? Okay, good. So text 10. अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितम् पर्याप्तं इदम् एतेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्. Sorry, I have missed text 9. So let's go to text 9, please. अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्र प्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्ध विशारदाः. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. Duryodhan is telling Dronacharya that there are great heroes in my army also. And these generals of my army, these great warriors in my army, they are willing to give up their life, lay down their life for my sake. And here our acharyas have commented that, please keep your this on mute. Okay, thank you. Our acharyas have commented that here when Duryodhan says mad arthe tyakta jivita, mad arthe means for my sake, tyakta means to give up, jivita means their life. For my sake, they are willing to lay down their lives. Our acharyas comment that Duryodhan saying this is a hint of what is to come. They all will indeed have to lay down their lives for Duryodhan, which means the generals in the army of Duryodhan will be vanquished. And he says, Nana Shastra Visharada, Sarve Yuddha Visharada, and Nana Shastra Praharana. They are equipped with many weapons, different celestial weapons also, not just earthly weapons. And they are Visharada. Visharad means very experienced. Very experienced. Visharad means very expert. They are very expert in fighting. And they are here to support me. Then text 10, we already read it. Now look at Duryodhan's psychology. He says, Aparyaptam tad asmakam. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma. Balam Bhishma bhi rakshitam. We are all immeasurable, we have immeasurable strength and we are protected by Bhishma Dev. Whereas the strength of the Pandavas, which is protected by Bhima, Balam Bhima bhi rakshitam, is paryaptam idam etesham. It is limited. So Duryodhan in his mind is thinking that my military strength is immeasurable and the military strength of the Pandavas is but limited. And this, my dear friends, is also a symptom of depraved mind. When we are not of a sound mind, we think no end of ourselves. Almost like a narcissistic behavior. We think that we are always right. We develop a psychology where we really cannot see the fault in ourselves. And we only see fault in others. To give an example, when Ravan wanted to abduct Sri Sita Devi, he called his mama, his maternal uncle, Marich. And he said, Marich, I want to abduct a woman. Her name is Sita. She is the husband of one man who is come into the forest from Ayodhya. His name is Ram. So I want you to take the form of a golden deer and somehow distract Ram and Lakshman away from their cottage in the forest so that Sita would be alone. And then I will go and I will abduct Sita. So Marich, he asks Ravan, O king, why do you want to abduct another man's wife? And Ravan simply says, because this Ram and his brother Lakshman, they attacked my sister Shurpanakha and they chopped off her ears and nose. Therefore, I will punish them by abducting their wife, Sita. I will abduct Sita. So Marish says, Ram, Lakshman, and Sita are from Ayodhya. They have come to the forest. They are somewhere at Panchavati. And Shurpanakha's nose and ears were chopped off by Lakshman and Ram at Panchavati, which is in the area of Nasik in Maharashtra. And we are in Sri Lanka. We are in Lanka. O king, why did Shurpanakha, your sister, have to go to Panchavati? What was she doing in Panchavati? Good question, right? If someone says that a US citizen got punished in some country, XYZ country, the first question is what was he doing there? Had he gone there legally or illegally? So Marich wants to know what was Shurpanakha doing in Panchavati? And why did Lakshman and Ram attack her and punish her? So Ravan gets very angry at Marich. Ravan says, shut up! I did not come to you as your nephew, and you are not my mama. Right now, I am the king and you are my subject. How dare you question the king? You don't ask these questions. Ram and Lakshmana are aggressors. My sister is a victim. That's all. This is how Ravan's mind was working. Just think about it. He doesn't want to think that Shurpanakha was the aggressor. It was Shurpanakha who went to the cottage of Ram, Lakshman, and Sita. Ram, Lakshman, and Sita were peacefully living in Panchavati. It was Shurpanakha who went there uninvited. It was Shurpanakha who insisted that Ram, you marry me. It was Shurpanakha who said that, oh, you cannot marry me because you're already married to Sita. Well, easy solution. Let me just kill Sita. It was Shurpanakha who was about to kill Sita, and in self defense, Lakshman took the step of punishing Shurpanakha. But none of this is in the mind of Ravan. In Ravan's mind, it is Ram's fault. In Ravan's mind, it is Shurpanakha who is the victim, not Sita. This, my dear friend, is the nature of a depraved mind. And when we get disconnected from Krishna, when we get disconnected from the holy scriptures, Shastra, when we get disconnected from devotee association, Sadhu Sangha, we develop a sick mentality. We develop low morals. And when we become classic demons like Ravan, we develop a mindset where we lose the ability to see fault in ourselves. And we only see fault in others. We are quick to blame others. And we are simply unable to accept our mistake. So we should be very, very careful, cautious of this type of mentality. where we just don't see fault in us. Anytime something happens, there is a complaint against us, immediately a reflex is to defend ourselves. Reflex is to say, but it's not my fault. It's a reflex to automatically blame somebody else, find somebody else to accept the blame. That is a demoniac mentality, my dear friends. Should be very careful. So here, in his mind, Duryodhan is convinced that my military is superior to the military of my enemies, the Pandavas, even though it is far from the truth. But he believes it like that. And sometimes when we are in an argument, my dear friends, with materialistic people, it is quite a useless argument because they are never going to change their mind, no matter what you do. When we come across a person like that who is not going to be reasonable, who is not going to be logical, who is not going to be fair, there is no point arguing with them. It is a total waste of time and energy. Duryodhan was one such stubborn person. Even he did not listen to Krishna when Krishna went as a peace messenger before the war. Just think about it. What a stubborn fellow he was. Text 11. अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागम अवस्थिताः भीष्मम् एवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि. Now remember, we are going to read all the 700 shlokas of Sri Bhagavad Gita because these are very powerful. In the first session, previous session, we discussed how that ghostly being could not harm the soldier who inadvertently had put a piece of paper in his pocket that had one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So we are going to read. So when I am reading it, it is the expectation that all of you will also read, even though you are on mute. But please read because we will make progress, spiritual progress, by chanting these beautiful shlokas. In text 11, Duryodhan is telling Dronacharya, all of you must now give full support to grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Now, see, again, the psychology of Duryodhan. It is very important to understand the psychology of a person in order to understand their activities. I repeat, in order to understand the activities of a person, it is important to take the time to understand their nature and their psychology. Now, see, in text 8, when Duryodhan is enumerating, he is mentioning the great warriors in his army. He first of all mentions Dronacharya, Bhavan, you, Bhishma. Then he mentions Bhishma next. Now, as Duryodhan is speaking to Dronacharya, everybody can hear it in the vicinity, including Bhishma Dev. Now, Dronacharya was glorified in verse 8 as the number one warrior because he's mentioned before Bhishma Dev. So now, to make things balanced, Duryodhan is thinking that maybe because I mentioned Dronacharya's name before Bhishma Dev, even though Dronacharya is junior to Bhishma Dev, maybe Bhishma Dev will get upset. Maybe I hurt Bhishma Dev. Maybe I insulted his ego by mentioning Dronacharya's name before Bhishma Dev. So, to keep things balanced, in verse 11, now suddenly Duryodhan is saying, and so now we must all come together and support Bhishma Dev, knowing that Bhishma Dev is listening. So that Bhishma Dev feels that, okay, I am important. Duryodhan considers me important. So he says, now we must give full support to grandfather Bhishma because he's the main warrior. So there he said in verse 8, he says, indicates that Dronacharya is number one. In verse 11, to keep both of them happy, he's saying that Bhishma Dev is important. We should all support Bhishma Dev. This, my dear friends, is called duplicity. Where is the loyalty? of Duryodhan? Is Duryodhan's loyalty with Dronacharya or is Duryodhan's loyalty with Bhishma? Who wants to answer? Please raise your hand. Where is the loyalty of Duryodhan? Yes, Abhinav, you can unmute.
Actually, I think his loyalty is in himself only.
Yes, very good. Duryodhan is very selfish, self-centered, egoistic person. He only cares about himself, his interests. That's all. To achieve his interests, if Bhishma Dev can be of assistance, let me get Bhishma Dev on my side. If Dronacharya can be of assistance, let me get Dronacharya on my side. If someone doesn't want to assist him, oh, he's enemy. Let's finish him. That is Duryodhan mentality. Text 12. Tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru vriddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochaihi shankham dadmau pratapavan. As soon as Bhishma Dev heard that let us all support Bhishma Dev, he is the most important warrior. Bhishma Dev pulled out his shankha, his conch shell, and he blew his conch shell loudly as a sign of war. That now let's start the war. Enough of all this talking. Let's start the war now. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire, Pitamaha of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters. Bhishma Dev was the grandfather of Duryodhan, Kauravas, and he was the grandfather of the Pandavas also. He blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion. Simhanad. Simhanad means like the roar of a lion. And what was the effect? It gave a lot of happiness and joy to Duryodhan. Duryodhan became happy hearing the loud sound of the conch shell of Bhishma Dev. It was very loud. Text 13. ततः शङ्काश्च भ्रेयश्च पणवानकगोमुखाः सहसैवाभ्य हन्यन्त सशब्दस्तुमुलोऽभवत्. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded in the combined sound. Tumulaha Shabda. It was tumultuous, very loud. When all the Kauravas they started blowing their conch shells, their horns, their bugles, their drums, it created a very, very loud sound. And this sound is indicative of their strength. In the hospital, we tell the patients to blow or inhale into a spirometer. It's called incentive spirometer. They have to inhale, and the stronger their lungs are, the more they are able to inhale. So similarly, the louder you can blow the conch shell, the stronger you are. It's a sign of their strength. So when these Kshatriyas before a war, they give their war cry or they blow their conch shell, it's a sign of their strength, their virility. Text 14. ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधव पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्खौ pradadmatuhu. On the other side, both Madhav and Arjun, the son of Pandav, Madhav and Pandav, Krishna and Arjun, they were stationed on a great chariot drawn by Shvetair Hayair. Drawn by Haya means horse. We say Lord Hayagriv, the horse incarnation of Bhagwan, Hayagriv. So Haya means horse, Shweta means white. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjun were stationed on a great chariot, a rath, which was drawn by white horses. Both of them, Divyau Shankhav, they took out their transcendental conch shells, both Krishna and Arjun, and they sounded their conch shells. The Kauravas sounded their conch shells. Now it is the turn of the Pandavas. Now the Pandavas, they take their turn to blow their conch shells, starting with Krishna and Arjun. Text 15. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrikodaraha. Lord Krishna blew his conch shells called Panchajanya. Arjun blew his conch shell called Devadatta, and Bhim, Vrikodhar, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, Bhima Karma, blew his terrific conch shell called Poundra. Now Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya, Arjun Devadatta, and Bhim Poundra. And what is significant is here Bhim is called as Bhima Karma Vrikodara. Bhim Vrikodara. Bhim used to eat a lot. Vrik means a wolf and Udar means belly. Wolves, when they eat, they can really eat a lot. They have very good appetite. So Bhim was Vrikodar. He had the appetite of a wolf. But he was also Bhima Karma. Bhima means great and Karma means activity. Bhima not only had a great appetite, but he used to do Herculean tasks also. He would give the money's worth or the food's worth, whatever he consumed, he gave it back. Whereas nowadays the tendency is to eat and then not give results. But Bhim used to eat and he used to give results. When they had to escape from the fire, the burning house, Bhim stood like this. He said, Mother Kunti, you sit on one hand. Yudhishthir, you sit here. Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, you sit on this hand. And he would carry all of them like this. Run through the forest like this. Elephants would attack, man-eating tigers and lions would sometimes attack, and Bhim would just kick them away and keep running like this. Kunti Devi, Arjun, Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadev, they did not have to run. Bhim would carry them like this on his arms. They would be sitting and he would be going. So Bhim used to eat a lot, but Bhim also used to do Bhima Karma, which means, my dear friends, we should eat according to our activity. If we eat more than our activity, we will put on weight, unhealthy weight. If we eat less than our activity, we will feel very weak and wasted. So, Yukta Ahar, Lord Krishna will explain later on in the Bhagavad Gita that we should eat adequate. So, Bhim's greatness was that he would eat a lot, but he was not just a glutton who's just eat and not do work. He used to eat and do a lot of work also. Therefore, he's called Bhima Karma Vrikodara. Vrikodara means good eater. Bhima Karma means one who performs great tasks also. So that is very important in this verse. Now, another important thing in this verse is here it is said that the conch shells of Krishna, Arjun in verse number 14, they are referred to as Divya. The conch shells of Arjun and Krishna are referred to as Divya, means transcendental. Whereas when Bhishma Dev and the Kauravas they blew their conch shell, the word Divya was not used. Which means that everything Krishna does, including blowing off his conch shell, they are all divine transcendental activities. So in this way, now Krishna, Arjun, Bhim, they started blowing their conch shells called Panchajanya, Devadatta, and Poundra respectively. Text 16, 17, 18. Now rest of the Pandava army will follow suit. They will also blow their conch shells. Ananta Vijayam Raja, Kuntiputro Yudhishthirah, Nakulah, Sahadevascha, Sughosha Manipushpakau, काश्याश्च परमेशासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकीश्चापराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथिवीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः शङ्खां दद्मुः पृथक् पृथक्. King Yudhishthir the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell called Ananta Vijay. Nakul and Sahadev blew their conch shells, Sughosh and Mani Pushpaka. The great archer king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virat, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupad Maharaj, the sons of Draupadi and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, Abhimanyu, all blew their respective conch shells. So now everybody is starting to blow their conch shell, beginning with Bhishmadev. Bhishmadev was the first one, the great senior most. Bhishmadev blew his conch shell first. After Bhishmadev, everybody started following. And they were making loud noise with their Shankhanad, with the blowing of their conch shell. Text 19. Saghosho dhartarashtranam hridayani vyadarayat nabhascha prithivim chaiva tumulobhyanunadayan. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Dhartarashtranam hridayani vyadarayat. Vyadarayat means it was shattered. The loud blowing of the conch shell by the Pandavas had a heart shattering effect on the Kauravas. This is an indication of the victory of the Pandavas. When the Kauravas blew their conch shell, there is no mention that the Pandavas' hearts were shattered. It is only mentioned that their sound was very loud. But when Krishna, Arjun, they blew their conch shells, when the Pandavas blew their conch shells, then the effect was heart shattering on the enemies, Kauravas. Text 20. अथव्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् idam aha mahipate. At that time, Arjun, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag mark with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, Sanjay is telling King Dhritarashtra, O King Dhritarashtra, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjun then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Pandava Rishikesham Tada Vakyam Idam Aha. He Aha means to say. He spoke these words to Keshav, Rishikesh, Krishna. Arjun is going to speak to Krishna. Now, here it is important to note that the flag on the chariot of Arjun was marked with the sign of Hanuman. Hanuman was imprinted on the flag of Arjun. Therefore, his flag is called as Kapi Dhwaja. Kapi means Vanar. Vanar here refers to Hanumanji. Kapi Dhwaja. Hanumanji was on the flag of Arjun. And there is a story in this regard mentioned by Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan in his commentary to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And the story is that once Arjun had darshan during Vanvas of Hanumanji. And Hanumanji was glorifying Lord Ram as usual. Hanumanji was saying that Lord Ramachandra, he is the greatest personality. Without any columns, he built a bridge across the vast ocean. And Arjun is said to have replied that, okay, but that's not very wonderful. I mean, it's not so difficult, even I can do it. Hanumanji sensed a little pride in the tone of Arjun. Hanumanji said, what did you say? Arjun said, well, it's a science. You know, you learn it, anybody can do it. I can also do it. I can also build a bridge with arrows. You can build a bridge across an ocean? Arjun says, yes, I can. And they were standing on the bank of a river in the forest. So Hanumanji said, "Why don't you show me? Build a bridge with your arrows across this river for starters. Let's start with that. Do it." And mind you, the bridge that my Bhagwan Shri Ramchandra built, there were hundreds and thousands of huge vanars like me walking on that bridge. And that bridge did not fall. Arjun said, "Well, my bridge also won't fall. It's not so difficult. One just has to know how to do it. And I have learned it." So Hanumanji said, "Okay, Arjun, build the bridge and show me." So in no time, Arjun just chanted a mantra. He did Achaman, chanted a mantra, and then shot some divine arrows. And there was a beautiful, strong bridge constructed across that river. And Arjun said, "You can go and jump on that bridge and make sure it doesn't break. It won't break. It's very strong." And Hanumanji, he went and he gave one punch to that bridge, and the whole bridge came crumbling down like a house of cards. And Arjun's ego was completely deflated. He felt very dejected. At the same time, he was wondering, but I am blessed by Krishna. How can my bridge be so weak? So he starts praying to Krishna that, "Krishna, please empower my bridge to become unbreakable." And he tells Hanumanji, "Hanumanji, give me one more chance. Let me create one more bridge and you break it and show me." And then after praying to Lord Krishna, Arjun again creates a bridge with his arrows in no time and then challenges Hanumanji, "Now try to break it." And Hanumanji goes on that bridge and gives one punch. This time nothing happens. Hanumanji climbs on the bridge and starts jumping up and down, "Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram!" But nothing was happening. The bridge was not breaking. Finally, when Hanumanji looked under the bridge, he saw that Lord Ramachandra was holding the bridge like this. And Lord Ramachandra's hands were bleeding. There are different versions of this story, but the version that I'm narrating is the hands were bleeding. And when Arjun looked under the bridge, he saw Krishna. His hands were bleeding. He was supporting the bridge. And Hanumanji felt so bad, so guilty, that I was trying to break this bridge that Lord Ramchandra was holding up. And because of my kicking, Lord Ramchandra's hands are bleeding. Hanumanji jumps down from the bridge and falls at the lotus feet of Lord Ramchandra. And Arjun is feeling guilty that my dear Krishna had to hold that bridge just to keep my prestige, just to respond to my prayer. Krishna had to do so much, and now Krishna's hands are bleeding. Both Arjun and Hanumanji fall at the lotus feet of the Lord. And then the Supreme Lord tells them, Hanumanji is seeing Ram and Arjun is seeing Krishna in the same personality. And the Supreme Lord tells Arjun and Hanumanji that both of you are pure devotees. And it is my great pleasure to make your words come true. When Hanumanji prayed to make the bridge unbreakable, to make the bridge weak and so that he can break it, Hanumanji was able to do that. When Arjun prayed that the bridge should be unbreakable, then I responded to that prayer also. The point is that both of you are pure devotees, both of you are very dear to me, and it gives me great pain. I bleed at the thought that my devotees are fighting with each other. Therefore, my dear Hanuman, my dear Arjun, please don't fight with each other. Both of you are pure devotees. Both of you are very dear to me. And the Lord disappeared. Haribol. So then Hanumanji tells Arjun that, Arjun, from today, you are like my younger brother. And Arjun says, actually, I can foresee that in the near future, there is going to be a huge world war. A huge world war. Mahabharat war. Many, many kings will participate. Millions of warriors will come together. There will be a great dharma yuddha. And it is my prayer to you, a great war of religion will be fought. It's my prayer to you, O Hanumanji, that you please be there with me. at the time of my greatest need. And Hanumanji promised him, Arjun, throughout the war, I will be with you. I will be sitting on the top of your chariot. And it won't be fair if I fought, because if I fought, the war will only last a few minutes. I can easily annihilate your enemies. So I will not fight, but I will be there on your chariot. And whenever you are fighting and you need my help, I will give my war cry. And my war cry will be so powerful that it will shatter the hearts of the enemies. So now, when Krishna and Arjuna were blowing their conch shells, Hanumanji also was blowing his. And therefore, it is said, it broke, shattered the hearts of the enemies. Haribol. Then we go to, what time is it? 1 minute to go. So we did. So now Arjun is going to speak to Krishna, Rishikesh. 21 and 22. Arjuna uvacha senayorubayormadhe ratham sthapayamechyuta yavad etan niriksheham yodhu kamam avasthitan kairmaya sah yodhavyam asmin rana samudyame. Arjun turned towards Krishna, his charioteer, and said, O infallible one, O Achyut, O Kesha, O Rishikesh, O Krishna, please draw my chariot between the two armies. Senayor Ubhayor, Ubhayor means the two armies. Senayor Ubhayor Madhye, Ratham Sthaphaya, me Achyuta. O Achyut, please bring my chariot between the two great armies. Why? Because Niriksheham, I want to see who has come to fight here, who has come here with the desire to fight. I want to see the enemies with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms, in this great war. The people who I am going to fight with, I want to take a closer look. I want to see them. So please bring the chariot between the two armies. I want to inspect. 23. Yotsamanam aviksheham ya etetra samagataha धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेर युद्धे प्रिय चिकीर्षव. Arjun is further saying to Krishna, let me see those who have come here to fight. They have come here to fight simply to please the evil minded son of Dhritarashtra, means Duryodhan. They have come just at the behest of Duryodhan. I want to see them. What kind of people they are. They have come here to please Duryodhan. Let me take a look at the Kaurava army. Arjun told Krishna. 24. Sanjaya uvacha eva mukto rishikesho gudakeshena bharata senayorubhayor madhye sthapayitva rathottamam. Sanjay, the secretary of Maharaj Dhritarashtra, is telling Maharaj Dhritarashtra, Sanjay Singh, O descendant of Bharat, Dhritarashtra, having thus been addressed by Arjun, Lord Krishna drew up the Rathottamam, the fine chariot, where Senayor Ubhayor Madhye, in the midst of the two armies, Pandava army and Kaurava army. Krishna did as Arjun said. 25. Bhishma Drona Pramuktah Sarvesham cha Mahikshitaam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kurun iti. In the presence of Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, and all the other chief warriors of the world, Lord Krishna said, my dear, dear friend, this is the first time in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is going to speak. Haribol. Till now it was Sanjay, it was Duryodhan, but now it is going to be our Krishna. Krishna is speaking. And what he says? Partha Pasyaitan. He says, just behold, Parth. The name of Kunti Devi was Pritha. The son of Pritha is called Parth. It's a name of Arjun because he's son of Kunti Devi. So, O Parth, just see all the Kurus who have assembled here. Samavetan Kurun iti. All these Kurus have Samavetan, they have assembled here to fight you. Look, take a look. You wanted to see? Look. These are all the Kauravas. See how they have come here. So, Krishna is being very obedient to Arjun. 26. तत्रापश्यत् स्थितान् पार्थः पितॄन् अथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि. There Arjun could see within the midst of the armies of both parties. He could see his fathers, grandfathers. Father means father in law, Drupad Maharaj. Fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father in laws and well wishers. Arjun wanted to see who has come to fight. Take me between the two armies. I want to see who has come to fight. And when Arjun went in the middle of the two armies and saw his teacher Dronacharya, his grandfather Bhishma Dev, he saw all his relatives who had come to fight. Most of them will be killed in this war. It had a deep effect on Arjun. Therefore, my dear friends, we should not see things which we are not strong enough to see and process. We may want to see this, we may want to see that. But if it is going to overwhelm us, we better not get into that without adequate support system. That is the lesson we learn here. When Arjun saw the dozens and dozens of family members and friends who had assembled on both sides to fight a deadly war, something is going to happen to Arjun. He saw all his relatives and was really overcome with compassion. Last verse for today, 27. तान् समीक्ष स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धून् अवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विषीदन् idamabravit. When the son of Kunti, Arjun, Kunti Nandan Arjun, saw all these different grades of relatives and friends on both sides, kripaya parayavishto. By compassion, Arjun was overwhelmed. Idam abravit. And then Arjun spoke as follows. Seeing all these relatives and friends assembled there, horrible, horrible. How can we let this happen? How can so many family relatives die just over a throne? Just for the sake of determining who is going to sit on the throne, so many loved ones should be killed? No, this is not right. Arjun's heart was overcome with compassion for everyone out there. He did not want all these people to die. And then he spoke something. And what Arjun speaks in verse 28, we will continue day after tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it's 9:07. Again, I know kids, you all have school tomorrow. So we will be taking question answers, and waiting for the question answers is purely optional for all of you. Okay? Hare Krishna. So are there any questions? Please raise your hands. Yes. Let's start with Ananta Vilas Prabhu. Keep your questions very brief and to the point. Ask to unmute. Yes, Prabhu, you can unmute. Then we'll go to Asha Mataji, then Haripat Prabhu.
Yes, Harish. Thank you for this wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have this question. Duryodhan, who is so envious and who is so wicked in nature, but in a way, he's very fortunate to get even darshan of Krishna. So, uh, and so what is a qualification of Duryodhan in that case? Like that is uh, to be part of that kind of a pastime, like okay, where uh,
See, seeing Krishna is not so important as the consciousness of the person who is seeing Krishna. Persons like Shishupal, Dantavakra, Poundrak, Duryodhan, Dushasan, they saw Krishna, but they were not really pleasing Krishna. They were not really seeing Krishna with love. Therefore, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, don't try to see Krishna, but serve Krishna in a way that Krishna is happy to see you. So the purpose of life is to please Krishna, not necessarily be close to Krishna or to see Krishna. We want to please Krishna. Once Srila Prabhupada was sitting in the room and some disciples were saying, Prabhupada, we don't want to go to that country to preach. We want to be near you. Prabhupada said, look, even these mosquitoes are so much near me. But are they giving me pleasure? Prabhupada said, don't be like the mosquitoes who are near me but not serving me. Instead, you stay far but serve me. That will be more pleasing to me. And by pleasing the spiritual master, we make advancement. So Duryodhan seeing Krishna is not such a big deal. We don't give that much credit. Okay? Hari Bol. Asha Mataji, ask to unmute. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, the very nice story you told about Hanuman and Arjuna. So did Arjuna always knew that Krishna was Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Arjun knew that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Mahabharat, everybody knew. Bhishma Dev knew, Dronacharya knew. They all knew that Vasudeva is Bhagwan. He is the Paramatma. They knew. But Arjun had such a thick friendship with Krishna that many times his intimacy of relationship overshadowed the knowledge that Krishna is God. For example, someone's child may be someone very great, maybe a Nobel Prize winner. But at home, the family members will not treat that Nobel laureate as a Nobel laureate. But that same Nobel laureate, when comes to Innovation Academy, oh, Nobel laureate is coming, Nobel laureate is coming. है ना? Like that. So when Krishna goes in front of the Devatas, they are like, oh, here is Krishna Bhagwan. But when there is, or when Ram goes to Vibhishan, or Ram goes to Sugriv, they have all that awe and reverence. But the friendship that Krishna and Arjun shared, it was a friendship of lot of intimacy also. And that intimacy, oftentimes, the love, oftentimes completely overshadowed the knowledge that Krishna is Bhagwan. When Arjun will ask Krishna to instruct him in the second chapter, Arjun will say, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. And then in the last line, he says, Shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapanna. That now I am not your friend, I am your shishya, I am your student, I am your disciple. And sadhimam means now you instruct me. You don't tell a friend that you instruct me, but you tell Krishna that now you instruct me because now you are my guru. I am your shishya, I am your disciple. And tvam prapanna, I surrender to you. So that is where the relationship changes temporarily, where Krishna suddenly becomes the guru and Arjun becomes a student. But otherwise, the relationship of friendship is so intimate. There is a lot of devotion, there is a lot of love, but the love has a lot of intimacy as far as Krishna and Arjun are concerned. And therefore, Arjun oftentimes treats Krishna more like a friend than Bhagwan. And then the difference in Vrindavan is that they completely forget that he is Bhagwan. The friends in Vrindavan, like Shridama, Sudama, Madhumangal, they completely forget that this is Bhagwan. Their love is even greater than Arjun's love. So it's a sequence. There is Sugriv, Vibhishan, one level of friendship. They are also friends of Ram, Bhagwan's friends, but there is one level. There's a lot of awe respect. Arjun, there is some awe respect. He knows that this is Vasudeva's Paramatma, but his love overshadows that knowledge most of the times. And in Vrindavan, the intimacy of love overshadows knowledge of Krishna's grandeur all the time, 100% of the time. Sometimes in Vrindavan, they will call Krishna as Bhagwan, but sarcastically. That is the level of love in Vrindavan. Like that, like that. So I hope this is okay, Mataji.
Yes. One more thing, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
Memorization verses, do we have any so far?
Memorization verses now, yes, they must be in the PDF.
Okay.
I will find them out and I will share them.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Okay. After Asha Mataji, we have Haripad Prabhu. Ask to unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanvat Pranam. Jai Sri Prabhupada. Prabhuji, before, your network got disconnected, you were telling the story about a devotee who used to go to the temple, pretend to be a new devotee, though he used to chant and do everything, but we couldn't conclude. What was the concluding point you
Yes,
were
so the concluding point was that he told Maharaj, His Holiness Shachinandan Swami Maharaj, that I pretend to be a neophyte because I've seen in ISKCON you treat new devotees much better than established devotees. And I want to be treated nicely. So
That's
I present myself as a new devotee.
very well. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Deena Pavan Gauranga Prabhu, ask to unmute. Yes, Prabhuji. Please go ahead.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Thank you so much. Prabhu, text number 20 is like three line in that text. And then text number 22 is one line. We see many verses in Srimad Bhagavad Gita like that. Is there any particular reason or just must be something, right, Prabhu?
I don't know. Generally, there should be in most of the verses of Bhagavad Gita are in Anushtup, and it has got one shloka has got 4 pad. How Prabhupada writes in the English Roman 1, 2, 3, 4. So each is called a pad, and the 4 pads together is one shlok, one verse. But sometimes we see that there are 6 pad, and sometimes, as you said, there are only 2 pad. So why that is so, I don't know. That's how the author Srila Vyasadeva wrote it, but I don't know the reason why like that. But it is recited the same way, Anushtup, like Anushtup only.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. And then Veena Mataji, ask to unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is actually Rishit. I'm joining
Hare
from somebody else's device.
Krishna, Rishit. Yes.
So on the website, it shows that there's a OBA. So what does that mean, Prabhuji?
So there is OBA, means open book assessment, and there is CBA, means closed book assessment. So everybody listen carefully now. The open book assessment is open for all of you, and you have time till the 17th. We can even keep it open till the 20th of this month. So as and when you get time, maybe this coming weekend, you finish the open book exam. Open book exam means you see the questions and you can write the answers. You can refer to the books. You can refer to Ishopanishad. You can refer to Veda base. It's open book exam. You can write it by researching. No problem. As far as possible, don't copy paste. You can read and then write it in your own words. That is open book exam. And then there will be a closed book exam. Now, closed book exam also you don't have to worry. Closed book exam, we will keep it open for 5 days. What you have to do is, there is no monitoring or anything. We trust all of you. What you do is, you write it whenever in those 5 days you get time. You take the exam at home according to your convenience. It's a closed book exam. In that exam, we ask that you don't look at Veda base, don't look at Ishopanishad. And the only restriction is of time. We will keep a time limit. So as soon as you open the exam, you will get a certain stipulated time to complete the exam. That will ensure that you do the exam in one go. So that's the only thing. Open book exam, you can take your sweet time. You can take 1 week also to write. Closed book exam, you open it when you're ready. But there is no supervision, there is no monitoring required. You can do it whenever you want at home. Because many of you are students, many of you are working professionals. So you take it according to your free time. Okay? Chaitanya, Chandra Prabhu, is that okay? I know you have a very busy, unpredictable schedule like many of you do. So even our Anandmay Krishna Prabhu has to travel a lot. So that's why we're doing it like that. You take it at your convenience in those 5 days. Hari Bol. Okay, so I think we are done. No more questions. Very grateful to all of you for giving me your precious time. And say Hari Bol. So I feel happy.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.